Welcome to Mystical Messages. I am Hillary Harley, your podcast host. I am a soul guide and astrologer. Mystical Messages is your podcast gateway to discover and learn about the realm beyond the veil, including all things intuitive, metaphysical, and the healing arts. To learn more about my work or to book a session with me, please visit hillaryharley.com. If you would like to read my monthly forecast, you may find the full written transcript for all astrology episodes on my website. That way, if you hear something and want to check a date of a cosmic event, you may find it on the written monthly forecast on hillaryharley.com. Today, instead of bringing you a outstanding, innovative healing arts practitioner, which I normally do for my mid-month Mystical Messages podcast episode, I am compelled to talk about the September 2025 eclipse cycle. It is not often that I feel called to expound on eclipse energy beyond covering them in my monthly astrology forecasts. However, the eclipses of September 25 are an exception. They are part of a remarkable lunar cycle. How we move forward now is vital to our future experience. Any progress we make or goals we achieve are rooted in the mundane, the simple practices and routines that we establish and adhere to going forward. Some astrologers lean toward dire predictions about eclipses. I am not one of these. Eclipses are doorways, portals to possibilities and opportunities. Certainly, if you are off track in any facet of your life, an eclipse impacting a point in your astrology chart can be painful or feel like a setback. But if you are in alignment with your soul contract and path, eclipses support, emphasize, and magnify where you are headed. September 7th and 21st mark the final eclipses of 2025. They are rooted in the new moon that happened on August 23rd at the starting point 0 degrees of Virgo. While the following new moon on September 21st occurs at 29 degrees of Virgo, the final degree of this very earthy sign. Symbolically, then, both Alpha and Omega are represented in this lunar cycle. The August 23rd new moon gives us a blank slate, and the next new moon on September 21st seals our fate, being the final eclipse of the year. Virgo is the 9th and middle earth sign of the zodiac. She is the workhorse, logical, dutiful, regimented, and committed to service. Her key phrase is, I analyze. She rules the future through grounded work, health, and wellness practices, systematic planning and preparation. Virgo is a mutable sign, meaning adaptable, flexible, and versatile. She does not shrink from tailoring or changing up habits to be more useful. In ancient lore, Virgo the Virgin derived from the Vestal Virgins, keepers of the eternal flame. This sign is rooted in ceremony and ritual. These are not lofty, but humble, workaday routines moving us from dawn to dusk. Hygiene, exercise, eating, work, service, rest, and sacred schedules are her wheelhouse. Line by line, step after step, Virgo yields practice into perfection. There is no harder worker. Think of a master in any field, art or industry. Virgo knows the very fabric of our lives is woven from the daily habits that turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is important to mention animals here and the role that they play in our lives. Virgo governs animals and the animal kingdom. Why? Because Virgo rules service, and animals are in service to humanity, whether actually or modeling how to live in accord peacefully with nature. Pay close attention to how animals figure into your life through this eclipse season. Are you adopting a new pet? Saying goodbye to a much beloved pet? Taking care of an animal, yours, someone else's, or adjusting the regimen of an animal friend? Seeing signs from animals. Our blank slate, the August 23rd new moon at 0 degrees Virgo, asks us to look at our daily habits. Are they healthy? If not, we cannot be of optimal service to ourselves, let alone others. Healthy routines begin with our mental and spiritual well-being. Ruled by Messenger Mercury, Virgo says, you become what you think. The new moon starting point of Virgo offers a fresh page to create practices charting a brand new future. To make sure we change up the regimen of our lives, radical Uranus figures largely in this lunar cycle from August 23rd to September 21st. The great change agent insists life won't become stale by running rote around a hamster wheel. Uranus precisely challenges the August 23rd new moon. In communicative Gemini, Uranus asks us to be flexible with our words and thoughts, to speak and write differently. Dueling with the Virgo sun and moon, we are tasked with changing how we think, write, and speak, beginning with how we talk to ourselves. Watch your inner monologue. What are you saying to yourself? Now is the time to use affirmations or to try new and different ones. Practice makes perfect, and Virgo is practice, dedication, commitment, rehearsal. Your dreams and desires are great and all that, but how will you achieve them? Virgo is the how of the zodiac, the through line from beginning efforts to end results. Uranus persists on flipping the narrative. As we enter September, the month of back to school and work, fresh from vacation, we are invited to create new lives born out of fresh routines. Only days into the month, radical Uranus turns retrograde on Friday, September 5th. This happens to be just 2 days before the full moon eclipse on September 7th. A full moon is energetically laden to begin with. A full moon lunar eclipse even more so. Add shake and quake Uranus shifting directions to the mix, and we have quite a combustible situation. Uranus is known as the Great Awakener, also known as the big pot stirrer of the zodiac. It is the older sibling or higher octave of Messenger Mercury, ruler of Virgo, which happens to be tied very closely to the sun at the time of this eclipse. Hear ye, it says. No excuses. Clean up your own life, backyard, and get your house in order before you worry or criticize another. Instead of issuing purity tests, this eclipse demands you scour and purge your own imperfections. No one, not a single one of us, is perfect. Yet, all of us are divine. With the sun in Virgo and moon in Pisces, eclipse themes are control versus surrender, detail versus unified whole, analysis versus belief, service versus suffering. Virgo is the epitome of efficiency and optimal system functioning. She keeps the trains running on time. While Pisces, her opposite sign, is transcendent, completely immersing with the divine and flowing with the unknowable. In short, we are commanded to control what we can about our lives and surrender the rest. So give it up. Do you get the message now? If you refuse to heed the call, radical Uranus has other plans for you, otherwise known as a cosmic 2x4. Surprise, shock, sudden or striking events that seemingly occur out of the blue to wake you up. Hence Uranus's moniker, the Great Awakener. Our soul is a segment of the divine, a slice of the spiritual pie, so to speak. It knows best. When we deviate too far from our soul path, the contract that we co-created prior to incarnation, Uranus is tasked with bringing us back to our soul commitment. And no, this is not always fun. Maybe try thinking of you and your car getting out of alignment. You bring it to the mechanic to have the steering straightened out. Uranus is the mechanic in this case. Humanity always has free will. So if you choose to drive away from the shop after the car is fixed and revert to your old habits, expect a bigger wake-up call the next time around. Between eclipses is a notoriously energetic black hole. As I mentioned in my September astrology forecast that dropped last week, a plethora of planets shift from one sign to another now. This makes for an unsettled 2-week stretch leading into the final eclipse of this year on Sunday, September 21st. Just as the September 7th eclipse was remarkable, laden with unpredictability of Uranus' change in direction, the September 21st eclipse at the very final degree of Virgo is unusually pronounced as the sun enters Libra the very next day, marking the autumnal equinox. Virgo rules health and regimens. Libra rules balance. Through healthy regimens, we are called to bring into balance the various facets of our lives: health, work, social, play, service, family, and rest. The caution is the drive for perfectionism and forgetting our own needs in the quest to please others. So balance what pleases you in equal measure to being of service. If we get lost in life's minutiae and details, Virgo's dutiful drudgery we neglect the divine dance awaiting us. So wonderful to talk about the eclipses just in and of themselves. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out via email. I am always here for clients and my wonderful podcast listeners. In other news, I would love to have you join the 3 Wise Women community. We are 3 veteran metaphysical practitioners offering connection and conversation to explore all of your wildest woo questions. Join us the first Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. Eastern via Zoom for just $10 monthly or $110 per year. To register, please visit my website, hillaryharley.com. And again, if you want to learn more about my work or to book a session with me, please visit my website, hillaryharley.com. You can check all the planetary dates, events, and cycles, as well as finding the full written transcript for all astrology episodes right there. Thank you so much for listening today. Please join me again at the end of September when I will be bringing you my astrology forecast for the month of October 2025. Blessings as you journey forward.